Hey guys, welcome to RIOT Podcast for Thursday. Whee!
Yay! We've not forgotten except the one day this week. That was it.
Yep.
So we're killing it, and tomorrow's Friday, and then we get the whole weekend to forget.
That's right. So, hey, stuff you're going to hear today, probably the biggest thing is going to be the food fight in which we eat snacks from Lebanon.
That's right. We try a Kit Kat flavor from there, a Pepsi flavor from there, some chips, and some chocolate.
Other things we get into today, angry yoga, birthday lunches, stealing golden toilets. I give you the end of my glasses delivery tale. It's
Tales
not that
woe.
exciting, but you know what? I figured there are some of you that will be like, well, whatever happened to that?
And it's important to us. We want to have closure.
So we also talk Apple TV Plus money, because daggone.
There is some money there.
Daggone. Ant speed records, good days and bad days, Walmart in your refrigerator.
A lot of good stuff, actually.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. I'm going to go get some more coffee.
All right.
And-
top off your cup there a little bit.
By top off, you mean refill?
Completely. And get a second one, another cup with it.
Just to let you know, I found the bottom.
Well, if it makes you feel better, like your cup is not like a tumbler tall size.
It's not.
So it's, it is wide. It's short and wide.
Well, you know what? I'm using a disposable today. I need to get in there. I don't know where my Yeti went. It must be.
No.
It probably got put in the dishwasher, which is not supposed to be.
Sure.
But how am I supposed to leave a note that says "Do not put in dishwasher"?
If you just tell everybody one time. So our next staff email.
Right.
See how that goes. Will you please not put my Yeti in the dishwasher?
You guys are breaking down the seal.
And then then they'll know from then on.
Yeah.
Not in a weird way, but just a nice casual.
This is just like the please don't mix the coffee together.
Yeah. And you could put a big email and then put a picture of like the Yeti snow monster and him be very angry. Like Yeti's angry, you put me in the dishwasher.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That might be more confrontational.
Yeah.
We'll work on this later.
We'll try to keep it passive aggressive.
Yeah, if not, you got to wash it right away.
Like, I don't pee in your pool, so don't put my toilet in your...
Yeah, a little bit more workshop.
We don't swim in your toilet, so don't pee in our...
Don't pee in our pool.
Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. All right, so hey, enjoy the podcast.
Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
The only morning show brave enough to say that Chicken McNuggets are part of a balanced breakfast. The Riot on RadioU.
You know, sometimes life is just a little bit too much. You feel like you need something.
Need a break?
Ladies and gentlemen, Rage Yoga.
Hey, Go Yoga's finally on its way out, is it?
Yeah, it's time for a new brand of yoga.
Yoga.
Didn't I just send you the link to it?
No, I don't see it yet.
Oh, okay.
You might have sent it to me a different way.
Well, Nikki, it started in Canada, which it's hard for me to imagine people in Canada being mad about anything.
Nope,
Do you think
bottling
it's what it is? They're just as mean as Americans. They're just not letting it out.
It's got a very nice facade on it, but super nice. Just there's rage in everybody.
So what you're saying is Canada is headed towards a real explosion of anger.
Not if they keep doing the yoga.
Not if they do Rage Yoga. So it started in Canada apparently about 2 years ago. There was a guy up there, or girl, I don't know, a yoga person that got it all started. And so
it's pretty bad to watch the video of it.
So what happens is you go in there, and the idea is you're getting out all your negative energy. So here's a quote from one of the people leading the class. We'll be listening to loud, explicit music, cussing, using profanity, yelling, screaming. We're just going to let all our negative energy out tonight.
All of it out. Basically, in this video, they're just flipping everybody off.
Yeah. And this girl's wearing a shirt, will train for beer.
Yeah, you're allowed to drink during it.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
So there's swearing, there's alcohol, there's everything.
So, but is there spiritual enlightenment through the placement of the body?
Maybe.
Isn't that what yoga's supposed to be?
I don't know. Have you ever heard of the happy one where you're supposed to be like smiling and laughing and stuff? It's like the opposite yoga.
So it's like there's happy yoga.
Well, yeah, you go in and it's like laughing. And that laughing is supposed to bring in some good feelings. And then you're working out and you're having a good time.
Do they have in different yoga classes? Where you just don't care?
An indifferent one.
Or is that where you just stay home?
I think that's where you stay home when you're not even doing yoga.
Okay, you know what? That's going to be me. Here's a photo of me sitting in a chair doing indifferent yoga. We just don't care.
They rage yoga is an attitude.
Yeah. So a practice involving stretching, positional exercises, and bad humor with the goal of attaining good health and becoming zen as something.
Blank.
More than just a practice, rage yoga is an attitude.
All right. Well, I'll put that on the list.
So,
Not list that we're going to, but just on the list of potential yoga things.
do you feel more likely to attend a yoga class where you could drink and swear and give people the finger?
Basically, I don't like any theme things too much. You're expected to show up and give your best A game on it. So I don't really want the laughing one, nor do I want this rage one.
I like the idea of being anti-theme.
Yeah, I just want to go in and what feels right in the moment.
Okay.
That sort of thing, and I don't feel like it's either one.
So if you're crying, indifferent, yelling, whatever, it's fine. Like, we're just all in this together.
I just want a nice, quiet class.
Quiet yoga.
No one really, stands out too much. I like to blend in, remember?
Yeah.
I'm a blender-ender.
So
I don't want to stand out.
introvert yoga.
Yes.
Everybody has their own cubicle.
Yes, and no one look. Just do whatever works.
All right. Nikki, you're on your way to starting a real community there.
Oh, my gosh, I might have a new class.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot. On Radio U.
Just want to remind you that a balanced breakfast is part of you taking care of yourself so you can face the day.
Have a good day, good breakfast, good day.
If you haven't had it yet, you should really think about it. Man, we've had back-to-back birthday lunches. Yesterday, we celebrated Hudson's birthday.
His birthday was on Monday.
We went to a high-end burger place. I had vegan cheese, and I feel like I paid for it.
Did you not like it?
I just felt sick all night. I don't feel good. But that could have been something else.
The alternative is what made you sick.
I don't know.
It's just
there was something, I can't eat anything, guys.
Maybe it was so convincing. Your body was like, well, just in case we'll get sick, because what if it's dairy?
It was so good that you know what? I actually don't know it was that. I've started food journaling. I started last night while I was laying there. I was like, all right,
that
that's
bad?
it.
You're like, we got to mark it all down.
We got to figure this out because anyway. Okay. Now the other thing today, we're going to
another birthday lunch for
Sydney.
Sydney.
Birthday lunch for Sydney. Some kind of a Tex-Mex place, and that's all sickness.
You never like that anyway.
I don't. I really.
He's the type that will go in and just order like a cheeseburger.
You know what? It's one of those
hamburger.
That's right. Yeah.
No dairy.
No dairy, please. I like to try to make it to everybody's birthday lunch because we work in an environment where we kind of emphasize how special people aren't. And so that one time a year.
Or you actually say something nice.
I want to be there for that,
okay.
And so.
So what are you going to get?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking at right now. Like, how do you figure out? I hate going into Mexican restaurants because I'm just like, can I get the child's menu?
And you used to eat the queso.
Do you have chicken?
But now you don't even get the queso. What if you're just like, whatever, just eat the queso?
No. Nope.
But if your stomach's already feeling sick, what's the bother? Just pile on.
Listen, that's the fundraiser talking. That's
not how it really should go.
That's me eating food where I'm like, I don't think this is going to go well. And I'm just like, you know what? Who cares? We need money for RadioU.
Have at it. Well, we'll look, and I'm sure we'll find you something like a salad or a soup.
This is it right here. You go in the kids menu. They got chicken nuggets. They got burgers and mac and cheese and mini crispy tacos.
Are you going to get chicken nuggets?
No, I think I'm going to get a hamburger.
Hamburger.
Yeah, because at least then it's like something. It's fine, though.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll only cost me like $40 for
a kid-sized thing of the hamburger. Yeah. You should be bringing your own cheese.
Yeah, no, I don't even want it. I keep your stupid cheese. Keep everything.
Now that's
everybody.
That's a hurt person.
It is.
Hurt person hurts
That's right.
with words.
That's right. Your whole dairy industry.
Keep it all.
Just keep it all, whatever.
I don't want it or any of your alternatives.
I'm just going to eat this almond butter toast for the rest of my life because that's all.
Why don't you bring that with you to lunch? I mean, that would be spectacular.
I thought about going to lunch today and just not eating. And just be
that's
like,
the worst, though. No, you got to have
I'm just going to get
something.
a soda. I'm just going to hang out and be social.
No, everybody's uncomfortable when someone does that. At least get some soup or something. Some sort of appetizer.
I want their soup. Keep your soup.
Now,
you know what, though? Chris told me that I can have all the chips I want.
Well, we'll put the basket in front of you.
Yeah, okay, and I'll order some queso. Oh, can't.
The Riot is to your ears what all those energy drinks are to your liver.
For the love of God, please stop. I can only process so much.
The Riot, RadioU.
Well, what do you think, Nikki? What do you think's the most watched thing on Netflix?
Well, I saw the list.
You did?
I did. So Stranger Things.
Stranger Things season 3 set a viewing record for them. They say that they had 64 million viewers in the first 4 weeks of
And I forget
Stranger
what
Things
they classify as you viewing. It's not just like, I started the first couple of seconds of an episode. It has to be a little bit longer than that.
Netflix counts a view as a member household watching 70% of one episode or 70% of a feature film. So if you watch it for 10 minutes, not a view.
You're not counted.
Unlike, say, a Facebook video where if you scroll past it, you're a view.
It's like the first 6 seconds of it, then you're a view.
Right, but no, that's the way they do it. You have to watch 70% of something in order to be counted as a view, which I actually think that's kind of cool that at least they're upfront about that and... So
they were saying that Stranger Things 3, was better than 1 and 2. So
as far as viewing
not too
goes.
Much of a shock. Yeah, as far as viewings went.
We can't say that from a content perspective. We can always argue that. Nobody said that
at all.
Nobody said that. So I see a lot of people, they felt like that Stranger Things season 3 was almost a complete departure from what made Stranger Things great.
Well, no, you had Stranger Things season 3, and then you had this Let's Go to the Mall movie. That was an alternate show.
You know what?
Still good on its own, but just very weird and didn't cross well.
The thing is, Nikki, I don't feel like a show has to only torture its characters. I think from time to time it's okay if they go to the mall.
No, and I think that was good, but I felt like that could have been lifted up and then actually been its own show and been interesting.
You know what? That's fine. Give me the Stranger Things characters. I still want them to have their psychic powers and stuff.
But every so often, just a normal thing.
Yeah, they go to the mall. They get... I feel like 11 deserved a little shopping trip,
That
she's
montage.
She's been through a lot.
Not a problem.
And I think some ice cream and some new clothes. Sometimes a girl needs that, Nikki.
A little self-care.
She needs a little time for herself and her friends. And she needs to dump that boyfriend.
So season 3, that's what they were saying yesterday.
Yeah, that was the big one. So it looked like season 2... you know what? No, those numbers...
I don't know if they gave the numbers for 2.
Let's see. The previous show that was the record breaker for them as far as views in a month period was the Umbrella Academy. That had 45 million views.
And that's doing its second season now.
Yeah. So that's not out yet though. I watched the Umbrella Academy.
Did you watch at least 70% of each episode?
I watched all of it.
Okay, then you count.
That was a weird one. It was. But also in the middle of all this Netflix news, they say that Hulu has not been like a problem for them. And they say that Disney and Apple will create what they call a modest headwind.
In their predictions?
So they're saying like, probably be a little bit. But
see, I don't think now they need to worry, but they have to start figuring things out. Otherwise, look at all the other past social media that we used to use.
Yeah.
And you're like at the time going, I love this. I'll never stop using it. And then before you know it, something new comes along. And
you quit using it? Mm-hmm. You know what, though? Okay, complete side note. Now that I've really, really gotten a look at the Disney thing, I'm not as interested. Like, whereas there was a time where I was like, it's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to me.
I expect you to just go up and down all the way until it comes out. You might just change your mind.
Well, you know what? Right now, I'm tepid.
Now he's down with it.
Oh, no, I'm still going to get it for a couple months. But I mean, like, am I,
going to keep it?
Am I going to dump Netflix for it? No.
They want you to have all of them.
Yeah, I gotta have everything. I'm getting another job so I can have all the services.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
So I ordered new glasses, and the ongoing saga continued to be. They were supposed to be delivered 2 days ago, And then the mail person just drove right past my house.
Well, you had talked before because you said they were out for delivery.
They did. I had the little notification, out for delivery.
Yeah. And we talked about, though, that the post office sometimes can be notorious for not actually delivering on that day, but sometimes the day after. But you said you were there. You watched the person drive right past your house.
I did.
Never attempted to deliver it.
Nope.
But then they said they attempted to deliver it, and then you'd have to go pick it up at the post office, and that was by your choice, which was also not true.
Being held at the customer's request.
So both of those were lies.
All lies. So yesterday, the tracking information showed that my glasses were being held at the post office again, and that I needed to go pick them up. And so I don't know if you know much about the old post office, but one of your roommates can typically stop by and pick up the mail, even though it's not for them.
Sure, you
because
can go get it.
Their ID has the address on it. So I couldn't make it there yesterday, but one of my roommates was like, yeah, I'll stop and get it, whatever. So they stopped to get it, and they were like, no, they're not here. That package was delivered to the house. They took them out and delivered them.
Even though.
After telling me that they were available for pickup at my request, and they were going to hold them at the post office.
Which wasn't even your request.
Which was never my request.
So did they get delivered to your house?
Yep.
But why all the mess?
Why all the mess?
Did you talk to your post person?
I guess the answer is this, Nikki. Never, ever, ever use their tracking information.
It's just obviously not right.
If I hadn't used their tracking information, I wouldn't have been expecting them. I would have never found out they were being held at my request.
Lied to.
They would have just showed up in my mailbox, and I've been like, wow, the mail is like magic, guys.
Look at it's here.
This person dropped this off, and I got it.
I feel like even the pizza trackers are more accurate than this sort of thing.
It's just one of those items where you're just like, how is it that there are all these companies that are doing this right, and you guys are what?
I feel like you should still ask your post person,
No.
like wait there, but then that's confrontational, and then they might get mad, and then you'll never get anything, even though you don't really get anything anyways.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You just want to let it go?
I'm done.
You're done? Okay.
I'm done, yeah. So that's, we're done.
Are those your new glasses?
They are.
Do you like them?
I don't know.
Well, what does it matter? Well, I know it's a new prescription, but...
It's a new prescription, and it takes time to get used to a new prescription. In some ways, it's great because my other glasses were scratched so badly. I cannot believe how much clearer the world is, but my eyes are freaking out.
Aw, they got to get used to it.
Yes.
It also could be leading to a little pressure in your head,
dude.
probably.
Like my sinus has been bothering me. I got these new glasses on, and I'm having a fantastic Thursday.
It's a really great day.
Really
good week, too.
Really excited about it.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then, they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
So generational divides are getting harder and harder to draw the lines because, you've got like the baby boomers, Gen X, then you've got Gen Z, which are millennials, and then you've got Gen Y and whatever. One thing that I've noticed that the millennial age keeps getting spread further and further, and I actually think it's just that millennials that aren't willing to accept that they're old now. And so
gotcha.
They're like, yeah, millennials are people that are 25 to 35, and then it's like 22 to 40, 18 to 60.
It's going to soon become just the other category that everybody under 50 fits into.
It's just one of those things where you're like, millennials, accept it. There are people younger than you coming up behind you in the ranks. Now, one consistent thing in all of this is that baby boomers have always seen the Gen X and millennial generations as being... Got a couple of quotes here. Lazy, entitled.
What's a baby boomer count?
I think that would be like, let's say 55 and up at this point.
Okay.
Your Gen Xers are probably the like 40 to 55. Your millennials probably in that 25 to 40 category. And then you've got Gen Y. And then I can't remember what comes after that.
Just other.
Other. For now, it's other, but it'll be something else.
It gets more named.
Right. So they say that, like there's this big thing where, what did I say? Narcissistic, entitled, snowflakes, lazy, all of these things that they've been saying. But psychologists at the University of California, Santa Barbara, have been bringing in people from all these different generations and testing what they call the kids these days effect.
That's a funny one.
It's a great name for it,
yeah,
right?
It's really funny.
Here's what they found. In reality, the younger you get, the better educated people are.
Yeah.
So people that are, say, 20 now are better educated than their parents were when they were 20. And that is a trend that seems to be continuing. Like, despite what you hear, education actually is getting better and students are getting better educated. And they found that the biggest problem is that the adults, the baby boomers, the whoever's, they overestimate their abilities. And so as they get older, they think they are much better at something than they actually are.
When really the study shows they might be a little off from that. Don't go back home for Thanksgiving and start sharing this with the older people in your family.
Oh, I feel like, honestly, this is something that you just tuck away and leave there.
Just to make yourself feel better.
Oh, yeah.
If someone tells you you're not good enough because of your age.
When you hear how lazy this and how whatever that, it's okay, whatever. I just know I've heard from older people in my life. They'll say things like, well, they don't like this or they don't like that. And to me, they're just like, well, blue's better than red. It's like, look, you're just arguing. You just don't there's an aesthetic thing here, but one is not truly better. This is just a random judgment you're making.
And people just like to argue about everything and they feel entitled to argue about that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like one of the best things I've ever seen is a reminder to older generations, these younger kids are lazy or they're this and that. And it's like, where did they learn it? You're the ones that taught them. They're your kids.
So that's where that got passed on from.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
All right, Nikki, let's talk about toilet theft.
Is that a thing? I don't want to think that's a thing.
It is a thing.
Well, who's stealing toilets?
Actually, man,
is that if someone puts it on the side of the road? They got a new one?
No. That's an awkward moment. I've done that. I had to replace a toilet, and you just have to put the old one out to be thrown away.
Did you cover it in a box or put a bag around it?
Nope. I just set it out on the street.
Oh, just set it there?
I just set it there.
Okay. Did someone take it, or did the trash thing take it?
You guys don't want to take that. I'm throwing it away because it had developed a crack at its base and was leaking.
No, but I've seen enough of the hoarder shows where they're like, I just saw this on the side of the road.
Someone just thrown away a mostly good toilet.
I can fix it, and then they bring it home.
You put toothpaste in the cracks. It's perfectly fine.
So I would like to think no one's taking it, but it's possible.
Oh, we're way past possible at this point, right? But in this particular case, this was a toilet that was stolen from the Blenheim Palace, which is, I don't know, someplace in the UK, but it was a toilet made of solid gold.
Ooh, so that's why they're stealing it.
Right.
How do you take out a toilet, though?
A regular toilet, one of the first things you want to do is turn the water off.
Well, then it must have been an inside job.
Something.
How are they turning the water off?
Apparently, this was I believe it was a usable toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not just an art display.
Sure.
This is a gold toilet.
Yeah, but the gold.
Right. But here's the thing looking at this. I look at this and wonder to myself, Nikki.
Yeah.
Could you, for the money that you're going to get,
nope.
Could you steal a gold toilet?
First, I don't know how to turn the water off.
Could you bring yourself to touch it?
No, I know it's you're supposed to...
It's that little knob underneath the thing, yeah.
No, and then you have to get down by that area, and I don't want to.
Well, I will tell you, when I have to work
the gold.
When I have to work on a toilet, the first thing I do is clean it.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but this isn't your toilet.
I know, but you get in there, you get yourself... I don't think we're in a soft scrub situation. I think we just go ahead and use kind of a spray disinfectant.
Or some of those wipes.
Yeah.
Be just fine. But how do you carry out a toilet? How do you steal it? I guess I just don't understand.
Well, you're going to want to drain the water, which, again, that's not that hard, and... then you might maybe dry it out a little bit with something, again, that you can throw away.
Sure.
Wash your hands real good. Or, maybe you're wearing gloves and then you...
I also don't know how to get the money out of it. Where do you go to turn in this toilet to get money back?
Do you think it's worth more as a toilet, or
do
you
you
just
melt it down?
Somebody melts it down and gets the gold.
I mean, I only do like Facebook Marketplace, so I don't know how else you do this. I don't know how to fence it. Is that the word, fence
That's
it?
the word you want. You need a fence. You need a place where you can go and get the money out of it.
So what we're getting is this is actually something that you would need to have a plan for. You got to clean going in, get the water out, get it out in enough time with no one noticing.
Absolutely.
And then you got to have a plan on how to sell the gold toilet.
Yeah. So you just...
I do not want to do all that.
They've arrested 3 people, they say, in connection to the robbery. I don't know if they've managed to get the toilet back, but they've got 3 suspects in custody.
It's only a matter of time.
You're talking about approximately a $6 million toilet.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, no one said that. We should have said that. I thought you were talking like maybe a couple thousand. So,
Solid gold, Nikki.
Well, I mean, how solid is it? Sometimes solid is like... with an asterisk.
I don't like using the word solid when it comes to toilets, if you know what I mean.
It's like when you get the Easter Bunny and you think it's a solid thing of chocolate, and
but
it's not.
You're right.
So for that money, I will carry it out.
You're saying you could get...
I will. I won't even clean it first. I will carry out the used toilet.
All right.
And I'll get toilet water all over me for $6 million. Look at that.
No problem.
Swish, swish, splash all the people's toilet water.
Okay.
I'll take it to wherever I can to get that thing sold.
Well, I guess we found our answer.
Yeah. I do have a price.
They say everybody does.
I do. I'll touch the toilet for $6 million.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
I want to say thanks to everybody who's been texting this morning. Christian says, and I quote, "I'll get toilet water all over me for $6 million," is the quote of the morning.
You're welcome.
You know what?
You are very welcome.
You know, Nikki off air said that for our next fundraiser, if we raise $6 million, she'd be willing to get splashed with toilet water.
Not even $6 million at that point. Let's just say comfortably, like Radio U being fully funded for 6 months.
120% of the goal.
Exactly. I mean, we finished our fundraiser last Friday, so thank you to everybody who did support. And I think that might be something we should look at in the spring.
Something to think about. I want to say hi to Andrew. He says a gold toilet would be insanely heavy. No idea how you would get it out of there. I say a dolly.
Would take care of it.
Just get yourself a dolly. You're going to need some straps.
Then how would they not notice you going into it? You're like, oh, don't mind me. I'm just here at the hotel with the dolly. You'd have to pretend to be crew of some sorts.
Oh, yeah. Somebody, one of the 3 people involved in this is just standing there with a clipboard, right? Directing.
No one will bother you if you look confident.
They're just like, yeah. All right, they know what they're doing. They're fine, right? Peter says, imagine that phone call to the police.
So that someone stole the toilet?
Yeah. Aaron says she's been there, didn't see the toilet. It's the home of Winston Churchill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So why would you go there and not see the toilet? What happened?
Well, maybe
was it in use?
Maybe it wasn't available. There was a line.
Was someone there using it already?
It's one of those things where you're like, okay, listen, we're all going to have, we're going to drink a lot before we go see the Winston Churchill place.
We are going there.
Because I want to make sure that, I have a legitimate reason to need to.
You have to hold it the whole trip, all the way over.
I want to check the water closet, I believe you call it.
I want to go use the gold toilet.
I want to know what that's about.
Oh, that's funny. Well, at least you got close to it.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, anytime you ever hear something, you want to say, hey, remember you can text us 877-2-RADIO-U. You can call us that way, too, but it seems like everybody would rather text than have to talk to us. And I
we don't take it personally. It's fine.
A little personally. Sometimes.
Just hurts a tiny bit.
You'll
do anything but actually talk to us.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So 2 weeks from tomorrow, Apple Plus starts their streaming service, which, I don't know that I...
Let's say it the right way. Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV. I'm sorry. You're right. Apple TV Plus. That's Disney's fault.
Well, Apple Plus isn't that like the Apple Care program and stuff too?
I don't know. Is it?
It's the TV part of it.
Okay. So Apple TV Plus starts 2 weeks from tomorrow. And some little bits have come out about it that have fascinated me. They've already renewed For All Mankind. That's going to get a second season. I'm really interested in that show.
It's funny, though, when it's not even aired. But
it hasn't.
People's response to it, at least what they've seen, has been enough.
They had their kind of Hollywood premiere a day or two ago. The entire cast got an iPhone 11.
Aw, well, I mean, when you're when you're on Apple TV Plus, that just makes sense, doesn't it?
So the tale, as far as we can tell, is that it's about an alternate 1960s in which Russia gets to the moon first. And so the United States decides that they're going to be the first to put a woman on the moon. And so it becomes about a space race to put a woman on the moon. That's the majority of what I can tell from watching it. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I really want is it's produced and I think written by Ronald D. Moore, who's responsible for the Battlestar Galactica reboot.
Which you loved.
In the mid-2000s somewhere. So that to me looks super interesting. And it got renewed. Was there anything else about it? It's 2 weeks from tomorrow. The other thing that has come out is that, there's that other show that's about morning TV that's got Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see how much money they're making per episode?
People in it or?
Reese Witherspoon, there's this report that says that she and Jennifer Aniston both are each being paid $2 million per episode.
Which makes you wonder, how much does an episode cost? How are they getting that money back?
How is that possible?
I don't understand how sometimes movies and TVs work out that way.
So they say that this show, what's it called? The Morning Show is what it's called. That the overall budget for it was $300 million.
How many episodes, or does it not say?
Okay, now, in fairness, that $300 million pays for 2 seasons, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah. See, I think that's especially with the show you talked about first, and they did that with Jack Ryan. Do you remember the Amazon
it got picked
show?
Up. That's true.
I think when they try to grab these bigger stars, that's how they can lure them because you're getting a much larger body of work.
Yeah.
They're not probably going to sign in and say, yeah, I'll just do 1 season. They know ahead of time they're doing 2 seasons.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nikki. If anybody wants to pick up the Riot for $2 million an episode,
right after we get that gold toilet we talked about earlier, it's not going to happen.
If we got the gold toilet,
it's not going to happen.
If I could get $2 million an episode, I could afford to donate a gold toilet.
We are proof that you can do it for a lot less. Okay.
And I'll tell you, the talent level is no lower.
No, it's practically the same.
I mean, I put myself right up there with Reese Witherspoon.
Now, it's a different style for our morning show.
Yeah, it's a little different, a little less controversy. Probably wouldn't make as interesting of a drama.
But more episodes.
Way more episodes.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by 2 people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, RadioU.
Man, I hate to be the negative guy because I feel like I'm just negative all the time, but there's all of this news that keeps coming out about a new Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I should be excited. Hey, they're making another Batman movie.
What have you been asking for the last year? Anything concerning Gotham and all that stuff?
You're
Batman.
leaving out the best part. I'm tired of Batman stuff that doesn't have Batman in it. What about Batwoman? Oh, getting warmer.
The Joker stuff didn't have it.
No. A Joker movie without Batman. That's dumb. That's like water without wet. You can't have that.
So he's been a little angsty concering that. And then you're supposed to be getting a Batman movie, but I mean, is it even on your radar?
Okay. Let's do this from 2 perspectives. Let's give my feelings and then some facts. We'll start with the facts. I think Robert Pattinson. This is feelings too, I guess. I think he's a fine choice for Batman.
Okay,
I know that a lot of people are angry because he was Edward Cullen. Ah! Who cares? I think he's worth giving a shot. Every time they cast anybody for anything, everybody's like, they're the worst. When Gal Gadot was cast as Wonder Woman, they're like, she's too skinny. And somebody's always going to be whining about it. I think he'll be fine.
So that's a pass on that.
Yeah, no big deal. And it looks like Jonah Hill was in discussion to play a villain.
Everybody assumed he'd be like the Penguin.
Or the Riddler.
Was
the other thing that I saw, and apparently he passed on that.
Did you see why?
No.
So he wanted supposedly $10 million for his part, but Robert Pattinson, the Batman guy, is only getting $5 million. So everybody's pay on this is a much lower scale since it's starting off with new people playing these characters. And so they said that they could not meet for a price. The $10 million, they just couldn't move on it.
Look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to do this movie for less than $10 million.
Well, basically, they didn't think it'd be right if he was paid for his character less than the Batman character.
Well, yeah.
So they have to find someone else.
That's fine. Like, he'll... maybe he won't end up regretting it. Maybe it's terrible, whatever. All I can say is that I just feel... There's just part of me that's just like, all right, here we go again. Like, I know that the Christopher Nolan Batman stuff is like coming up on 10 years old. Like, I get that. But it's like we just had Batfleck. I thought Ben Affleck was a great Batman that didn't get a fair shake. Like, he didn't get good movies to be in, really. So he would have been a great Batman. This guy could be a great Batman, but there's just part of me where I just don't care.
Well, why don't you just not bother with hearing any of the news around it and just wait till
the actual movie
wait till
gets
it actually comes out and then start following the stuff.
Because, I mean, like, Nikki, we don't pay any attention to the news day to day about what's going on.
Well, if you see a headline about it, just ignore it. Because, it's always in front of our face.
It might just be, I'll probably be game for it when it shows up. But the idea of, like, listening to these people...
Hash it out.
We're like, I just don't think if I couldn't be the Riddler for less than $10 million. And
it's going to ruin it.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll be the Riddler for less than $10 million. I'm not going to be a good Riddler, but if you guys put the camera in the right place and then we can make it work.
I mean, no one will question it. It's fine.
We can make it work.
So more details obviously will come because, I mean, that movie's a ways away.
It is. But maybe that's what it is, Nikki. I shouldn't see all of the behind the scenes quibbling.
That's going to upset you the most. You just want a Batman movie. When it's done, tell him. Then he'll be interested.
Mm-hmm. Riddle me this. How much money did I make last year? Oh, less than $10 million.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
And I'll have the number 8.
That's a party platter. It serves 12 people.
I know what I'm about, son.
The Riot. Food fight.
Here we go, guys.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
We've got some amazing items. This will be not all of them. There was just so many that Madison brought back for us.
She was not screwing around.
We got a rather amazing assortment of items from Lebanon, including an amazing assortment of Kit Kats, which, again, we just can't can't get through them all today. But
so many Kit Kats.
We'll try a few items.
All right, so what do you want to start with?
I kind of want to do the ginger Pepsi.
Okay.
You want to do that first?
Little sippy sip?
I don't know if it was because of the pressuration, but I couldn't open it. The pop top on the can broke off. Like, I can't see that.
Dude, it was so funny. Nikki's like,
it's different.
Man, look at this cake. Oh.
So I had to pour it out this tiny hole in the middle of the can.
Hilarious.
But it is ginger Pepsi. And we also have a lime one, but we'll try that one next time.
Yeah, we'll save that one. So, all right, you ready for some gin?
It is strong. It's strong ginger flavor.
Yeah, it smells like incense to me.
That's a good way to put that. See, I don't like Pepsi. And then you put ginger in it, and I don't know if I like that combination.
Oh, man, the aftertaste is strong.
It's an afterburn.
That is a strong aftertaste.
Sometimes with aftertaste, like it'll hit you just for a tiny bit. This is still firing. It's still lingering. It's got a really big aftertaste.
It's a weird one. That's a weird one.
Yeah, that's maybe if it was colder, it'd be better. I really like a crisp, cold soda.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, if we've got all these flavors kind of laid out, this is not going to be on the top of my list. I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's strong.
Just get it off.
Okay, so how about a palate cleanser with this? This is something that I'm actually really excited about. These are kettle-cooked potato chips, but take a look at them, right? They are honey mustard.
Now, I don't know if you've listened to Obi in the show for long,
I
but you
honey
must realize
so
Obi loves ketchup, but then right behind it is a good honey mustard.
Oh, dude, come on, right?
That is your thing.
So you can kind of smell the
smell it.
The mustard.
You can smell it.
It definitely smells like the State Fair, like we're frying potatoes in there. That's a good smell.
Those are delicious. Do we have honey mustard chips here? Wow, those are
that's
amazing.
good.
Those are amazing.
That is
really
good.
good. It's not too much. It's just right. Well, we have to find out if we have honey mustard chips here.
So these are honey mustard chips from Lebanon. So.
Well. We're not sharing that bag. That one's not going in the break
I could
room.
just keep eating these.
Oh, those are so good. Those are really, really, really good.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
you want to...
hallelujah.
That's right there. That is
Come on.
something good.
Yeah.
So the other item, we are trying one Kit Kat flavor. These are the orange ones. And
Have you ever had an orange Kit Kat?
I don't know, but do you see how they're wrapped differently? They're wrapped
check this
the
out.
other way.
Yeah, they go like... It comes off at a different...
Off the width instead of, the top to bottom. So
Yeah, it's an
that's
odd-
different.
It is. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, it's best before February of next year. So if we're only going to eat half, we got to get the other half.
These are RIOT Food Fight items, which we got from Lebanon. Thank you to Madison for bringing those back for us. I almost don't want to ruin the honey mustard chip flavor, though.
Mine says #MyBreak.
So orange Kit
boy,
Kat.
the orange is strong.
But
Smell
when
that?
when you taste it, it's actually, it's
it more
not too
subtle?
much.
Sometimes they hit you really hard with the scent. They almost make you, oh, you're crazy. That's like...
Well, no, now it's there. Now it's more pronounced. And you know those little chocolate oranges that break apart?
No.
That tastes more like citrusy to me. This tastes more like if orange and floral were together.
I'll tell you what it tastes like to me.
What?
Did you ever go to like a Little League game
Yeah.
and McDonald's had that
Oh, the
orange drink?
kind of like that.
It tastes like that.
Yeah, it's not the worst, but it is not the best.
No. Like, I mean, I'm going to eat it.
You are.
Yeah. All right, what do you got? What's our last
one,
item?
I think we've had a version of this before. Cadbury, it's their Oreo bites. This one's coming out of the UK. So for Lebanon, I'm not sure if, here we don't get as much Cadbury stuff.
No, we don't.
We get like the Nestle stuff, but this is like that version over there.
Okay.
So these are their Oreo bites, which
All right.
I don't think we'll hate. Those will be just fine. Those are just perfect. Perfectly fine. Those are great.
Yeah, that's good.
That'll do. That's the way to end it.
I approve this message.
That's good. So your favorite, though? Honey mustard chips or what?
Oh, far and above. I can't believe
How good those are?
how good these honey mustard chips are.
Anybody do some research or we'll look too. What's our honey mustard chip equivalent here?
In the United States,
Yeah, we have to have something. There has to be it.
we got to do some digging.
If not, why haven't we had that flavor yet?
Why?
Because it works really well with a kettle chip.
Oh, it does.
Thank you, Madison, for sending us those items from Lebanon from your trip.
Much appreciated. Also want to give Madison a shout out. She watched the Poseidon Adventure.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
You know what? Here's a little real talk. I don't really want real talk right now, but I'll just be real with you. Whether it's the seasonal stuff or whatever, the last few days, depression is something I've been having a tough fight with. I'm very tired, which, again, it's funny. Like, if you're dealing with depression, fatigue can be one of the symptoms, and it's like pouring water into a bottomless pit. You're like, well, I'll just get some sleep. It doesn't fix it.
It doesn't help it.
No, it doesn't fix it. You're just tired. I'm really angry and irritated, let's go through my life and find some things to be irritated about. Someone brought me food from the other side of the world. Someone paid to have coffee available for me to make it, and I can have as much as I want. I drove to work in a working car. I slept in a foam mattress that contoured to the shape of my body. I had hot water on demand. I mean, let's just take a real long look at how hard my life is. It's so hard. But you know what? For whatever reason, I'm just having a hard time. Here's what I love is that, 3 weeks ago, I wasn't having a hard time. I was doing great, as a matter of fact. But here we are now having a hard time. Do you know that God loves me as much today as he did 3 weeks ago when I was a little more fun to be around? Do you know that he loves me the same amount 3 weeks ago as he does today? Did you know the same thing is true for you? Do you know that no matter how you're doing today, if you are having the best day, The amount that God loves you today on this best day is the same amount that he loved you 2 weeks ago when you were absolutely struggling with what? An addiction, an issue, a relationship that you're having a hard time with, whatever it was. God's love for us is constant. It's not based on how we feel each day, and it's not based on what your agenda for the day is. Do you have a ton of time to be a humanitarian today? God doesn't love you more than that day when you're working 3 jobs just trying to make rent. All right. It's not like that. God's love is not based on how we feel or what we do or whatever. It's based on who he is, and that never changes. And I want you to know, and I want to remind myself that we are loved no matter what. So we can stand here and just be loved passively, but wouldn't you like to get to know this amazing guy that loves you no matter what, that always wants to be there for you? Wouldn't you like to go a little bit farther into that and see what it's all about? Man, I do. A relationship with God is easy to start. He's not mad at you. He doesn't want to yell at you. He's not ready to lay even more on you. No, he just wants to start a relationship with you and help you with whatever today looks like. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. And I need your help dealing with today. Could you help me? It's a great place to start. Now, if you got specifics you want to ask for help for, do that too. Say, hey, God, I've got a coworker that really bothers me. But I mean, that's just
what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Is that what you're saying?
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Listen, I don't know if you're a runner. Maybe you're working on increasing your speed. I know a lot of marathons taking place around the United States. Columbus Marathon happening this weekend. But I want you to know right now that even if you're not training for an event, even if you're not ready for that, you're already faster than an ant.
Are they slow or?
Well, Nikki, they believe that they have found the world's fastest ant.
Yeah.
It recorded what they're saying is a record-breaking ant speed. Now, keep in mind 2 things. 1, you're faster than an ant. And 2, there's somebody out there that their world is clocking ants. They're just like, all right, we're going to get him here.
No, there was probably a study or something commissioned with money going to study the pace of ants.
Your tax dollars probably paid.
It is not just someone going, oh, I wonder how fast they are. That's a committee.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a full thing right there. There's people employed to figure all this out.
So they say that it went, like the world record here for this ant, 2 miles per hour.
Wow.
Which they say is the equivalent of a human being running 360 miles per hour.
Well, we can't do that.
So the reason they call it that, it can cover a yard in about a second, and that is 108 times its body length.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That ant is 1/3 of an inch long. And they said in human terms, it would be like 360 miles per hour because you take the average height of a human and the speed at which they're moving. And there you go. Now, in fairness, that ant's got like 6 legs. I've only got 2.
So he's got an unfair advantage.
So I don't feel like that's necessarily fair.
What are the bugs that they're everywhere? Are they the stink bugs? The ones that look like...
Oh, I hate those things.
They're so creepy looking, and they're just in the building.
Everywhere.
They're literally everywhere. And one got in my house the other day, and it was on the top ledge of a window.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there, I was watching TV, and I was like, oh, he can't go far. Like, I've got a moment. And he walked so fast across that thing, and then behind my curtains, I was like, where'd he go? He moved pretty fast. So you got to be prepared. No, I haven't found him yet.
You probably ate him in your sleep.
I didn't know where he went. But I just remember looking like, oh, he's pretty fast. He's faster than me at this point.
Faster than us, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not wanting to get up and get him, but I should.
You know, a lot of people say, like, well, humans have an unfair advantage. Guys, we need every unfair advantage we have. Because I'll tell you right now, I drop you in most circumstances, you're going to need a gun, a sharp stick, a something. Because you can't run 360 miles per hour. You know what I'm saying?
Just got to go for it.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Would you be interested in having someone deliver food directly to your refrigerator?
Oh, does that mean they're going in the house or just like to the front door?
Oh, they're coming in.
No, I I kind of have a system. So maybe not to the fridge, but I'd like them to bring it to the house. They can carry it to the counter, so I don't have to do that.
So apparently in Pittsburgh, Kansas City, and Vero Beach, Florida, Walmart is experimenting with
delivery like that?
Delivery, where they will come into your house and put it in your refrigerator.
If you were having a delivery done, like, say, during the daytime, maybe that would be good. And you weren't home, but you needed to get your groceries?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's weird.
Maybe if I got to pre-screen the person, like, that would always be my person. And so, like, we knew each other and it wasn't weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was more trusting of it.
Okay.
That might be good.
Okay.
Like your neighborhood had a person.
My thing is that at what point does this just become a restaurant where they're like, hey, we're bringing the food directly to you? Yes,
They're not making it for us.
I know, but I feel like we're a couple of steps away from they're like, we'll bring it to your house and prepare the meal.
Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you love to come home? Your groceries are already there. All your stuff that you had to have done. Dinner's already made. You have a dinner.
That was actually, at the time, I remember some of my professors being like, no, you don't know how good life is having access to the cafeteria. And you're like, what are you talking about? I hate the food. I want to live on my own. I can't wait to get out of here.
Because then you just eat nothing.
So then the idea that somebody else, I mean, we paid through the nose. You always do for living on campus. But, you know, you had someone doing all your meal prep, all your shopping, and all the cleanup. You just showed up at certain times and ate. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
That's
we're spending,
pretty great.
Some of us are spending a lot of money to have the, DoorDash and Uber Eats and things like that. So
by some of us, you mean you?
I don't know. I allow myself one dinner every couple of weeks because it's so much money. It's so bad, but it's so much fun.
Really?
It comes to you.
See, I don't.
You get to watch it as it's coming.
That doesn't even.
It's from a restaurant I'd never go to on my own. Just never.
So what do you think what are you paying for delivery for that? $20 by the time, because you got to tip them.
They split it up. There's a delivery fee, and then sometimes you can get around that. There's a tip. Then the restaurant just charges you more, I believe, because I've been to some of those places like that is not the price.
What?
So yeah, it's probably a good maybe $20 more.
Yeah.
Which is why sometimes if you just order directly from the restaurant, from their website, it's cheaper, but then you got to go pick it up.
Yeah, but see, that's what I would do. I would say to myself, like, I'm going to pay myself $20 to go pick this up and, like, take my $20 and buy myself a movie or something stupid like that. And be like, boom, there it is.
Well, for this, though, at least you know your groceries. What if someone would just deliver them and put them away for you?
Well, Walmart says you got to pay $50 to have this kind of like a special security system thing.
Oh, sure.
You're buying it, but they'll install it for free. There's a monthly fee of $19.95. You've got to order a minimum.
That's a lot.
Is it?
This is all adding up.
How much? No, wait. Okay. Your $50 one-time payment, right?
Uh-huh.
It's $20 a month, but how much does Amazon Prime cost monthly? $13 a month.
This is also no different than the Amazon. They haven't pushed it in a while, but their delivery going inside your door, delivering it.
Yeah.
That's no difference because you used to have their stuff too.
Well, the Walmart person will wear a camera, and you'll be able to access the footage of them in your house.
Wow.
Plus, of course, I'm going to install cameras along their route.
Sure. I can't with my doggies. They don't want someone coming in.
I'm sure there's somebody somewhere this works great for, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm drawing a line where I'm like, you know what? How about you guys don't come in the house?
It's a good idea.
How about you don't come in?
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Make your own sandwich.